thanks for coming back in today. How are things going?
It's been kind of a tough week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened?
Well, it's been pretty horrible. I don't have a job, well, not a real one, and I need money. But I mean, I've got resources in Snap, but it's not enough, you know? I have to feed myself and Lois and Ruth. Plus, I need to get a car to get myself and the kids to all the places that we need to go, or I'm going to lose them.
Feeding a family, household expenses, transportation. Sounds like these are really all a big part of what's going on and some of the difficulties you've encountered this week. So how are you managing?
I've been doing what I have to do. You know, it's not something that I want to do, but I have a few guys that see me regularly and they pay me pretty good money.
Okay. Well, I know last week you had talked about this really isn't the kind of life you want to be living right now, and having some of these things that are happening with CPS and being called and reported on things, not what you really were hoping for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm hearing you say is that, look, I really just need to feed my kids and I need a place to stay, and this is the easiest way I can go about doing it. And it's working for me right now. Is that right?
I really don't know how to get a job. And do you think I like leaving my kids alone while I go to see the guys? I know it's risky, but what else am I supposed to do?
So Roz, I know your kids are really important to you, and that's really shown in the way that you've cared for them in the past. You're not the only one with this problem. I know that there are a lot of people who are making some of these choices just based on their needs right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I have some friends who got me into it, and for them, you know, it makes them money and it's their only source of income, so that's all that they have. But I want to have a real job, something that, you know, my kids and my family can be proud of. I don't want my kids to grow up thinking, you know, realize what I've been doing and look down on me.
You lived with mom for a little while, and then you were able to get out on your own and be independent. Mm-hmm. You've done a really great job with that. I know it shouldn't take too much to get you back on track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, but I feel like I've hit a dead end.
Well, I know it might feel like that right now, but you did talk about a few goals you wanted to work on last week, so why don't we take a deeper look at those and see if we can't work together to get things back where you want them?
I guess, but I don't even know if that's really possible.
Well, let's take a look. So last week we visited, and you were pretty upset. You had tipped the table over. You were feeling pretty overwhelmed at that point. Mm-hmm. And I could see that controlling your emotions was something that maybe you really struggle with. Mm-hmm. And you expressed you wanted to explore that as well. Mm-hmm. And you've shared this week now a little bit more about the urgency of really needing to increase your income, make sure the kids are getting taken care of, and find a job that you can do while the kids are in school and daycare. Do I have those goals right?
You know, I don't want to lose my kids. They mean everything to me. But this is what I'm doing right now is the only way that I know how to make money. I don't have anything else. And I feel like that's never going to change. I don't have any skills, and I've always had problems dealing with people. And everyone tells me I have a problem with my temper, and that's usually what gets me in trouble.
Yeah. I could see how quickly you became escalated last week when we talked about some of the struggles that you were going through. Mm-hmm. How does handling your emotions in that way work for you?
Work for me? It doesn't. I get super upset really easily, and this usually means I get angry and aggressive. I mean, not with my kids. I would never get angry with my kids. But sometimes people just really piss me off, and I go pretty quickly to spouting off or, you know, knocking tables over like I did last week. But they all deserve it. My neighbors, my landlord, they have no right to turn me in, and it's none of their business what's going on.
I can see you're getting overwhelmed for sure. These are some things that are really bothering you, and you're kind of feeling like they violated maybe some of your privacy. Is that right?
Yeah, you know, maybe just taking the kids and getting out of town is what I should do. I'm damn tired of everybody knowing my business. I'm sick of it.
Okay, Roz. Oh. Roz.
What?
Okay, so I can see that this is a triggering event for you, and you're feeling a lot right now. So can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on for you?
Well, I'm pissed. You're all out to get me, every single one of you.
Okay. Like you said earlier, you have a lot on the line right now. You're concerned about having your kids taken away. You're concerned for your safety. It seems like it's really hard, and I can understand why you're getting upset. I know it's hard to try something new in the moment, but I am wondering if maybe just now we can try something to maybe help you calm down.
Why? So you can get more information out of me?
Well, right now, I really don't want to get any more information out of you. I'd really like to work on some skills and strategies to help calm things down for you. And if that's all we get done today, that'll be just fine. How does that sound?
I guess.
Okay, Roz, so can you tell me a little bit more about what was happening for you just a few minutes ago? What were you feeling?
Pissed.
So Roz, as we continue to talk about some of the things that might trigger you, you might feel a little bit triggered. You might want to go into that pissed mode again. And I'd like to try some deep breathing with you to see if maybe that calms things down. And I'll do it with you. Does that sound okay? Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. So let's kind of get comfy in our chair and just relaxed a little bit. And we'll start by taking some breaths, a breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. And maybe we'll just try this for 3 times and see if we can feel any shift in our bodies. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So, and then right out through our mouth. Another one. And the last one. Okay, Roz. Well, I can see already that your shoulders have come down a little bit. Your hands are kind of loose. You look a little more comfier in your chair. Did you notice any changes with that?
Yeah, I guess, but it's really easy to do it when nothing's going on.
It is. And I know that you may feel like nothing's really going on, but already you've shifted how your posture is in relation to where you were when you were feeling really pissed earlier. So let me also review with you, Roz. Did you feel any differences in your body? Did you feel more tense when you were feeling pissed? Did you feel any muscle groups that maybe were tight?
I don't know what I was feeling. I was just pissed.
Okay. So the signs that we might be looking for are those things. Our muscle groups get really tight. You ever have times when you might feel something like that leading up to getting angry?
Okay, well sometimes I'll clench my teeth right before I burst.
So wow, yes, absolutely, Roz. That is a definite sign that things are getting a little overwhelming for you. And I like to think of those signs as links in the chain. And so you have this little episode of your clenching your teeth, and it may seem like nothing to you. That might be the sign for you that, gee, something's happening for me. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And then you can use that deep breathing exercising that we did. Sometimes those are really important to notice.
I just don't see how that's going to help me.
Okay, well, let's continue on with our discussion about some of the ways that we can work together and get things back on track for you. And if we need to, we can practice some of that deep breathing again, okay?
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Okay, so one of the goals you talked about was finding a real job. Can you talk to me a little bit more about what a real job might mean to you?
Well, to me, working at a real job is like going to a business or a restaurant. Those are real jobs, where you get a paycheck every week. But I don't have any skills. I don't have the skills that would help me do those things. I just don't even know how I could even try getting one. This is stupid. Why would I even bother to try? Maybe I should just keep meeting up with the guys during the day when the kids are at school. See? Problem solved.
Well, that is one way of problem solving, for sure. Kind of keeping things just the way they are, right? But sometimes seeing it all written down can really help us look at what's working for us and then what's not working for us. And so really identifying some of those pros and cons can help us maybe do a little bit more problem solving and figure out a real solution that'll work, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. Would you be willing to try that with us?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, great. So here is a pen and a pad. And what do you think you want to start with, the pros or the cons?
The pros.
Okay, great. So what are some of the pros of just kind of keeping things the same and doing what you're doing now?
Well, one of the first pros is that the kids won't be home during the day. And then my neighbors won't be home either because they'll be working, so they won't be able to rat on me. And I'll have money every week because I'll have the guys coming, and I'll be able to pick the kids up from school. I'll be able to see them, and I won't have to leave them at home alone anymore. I never really thought of this before, but I kind of like being needed by the guys. I'm not in it for a relationship, you know, just the money.
So why don't we look at some of the cons? What are some things that maybe just aren't working so well?
Well, it still isn't a real job. It's not something I can put on my resume, and it's dangerous. A lot of the guys are bigger than me, and sometimes they'll come in high or drunk, and I don't know what they're gonna do to me if I don't wanna do something that they don't wanna do. And if they were coming to my house, I don't think I would really like that because that's where my kids live. I don't want to bring, you know, I don't want my kids to kind of be exposed to that in that way. It can get pretty stressful sometimes, you know. There's a fear of getting caught, and I know that people don't like it because of the thrill, but I don't really like that. Sometimes I think of my kids, and then it makes me feel like a bad mom. Sometimes I lie to the other moms at school, and I just tell them I work in a law office as a secretary. It doesn't feel good to tell those lies. I guess the biggest con is that if I get caught, I will lose my kids, and I might not ever get them back.
Okay, Roz. So you've got quite a few reasons to maybe change some things and not prostitute, right? I mean, your kids, they're the most important thing to you.
I've worked hard to get the ones that I have back, and I want to be able to have all of them back. I want to keep them.
So Roz, I know how important your kids are to you. So why don't we look at just immediate needs? What are some of your immediate needs for just this week?
Okay. Well, I need diapers, and I need food for Ruth, and I don't have a way to afford a cab to get Lois to her well baby checkup. And if I don't go, it's going to be another call to CPS, which means they're going to be showing up again.
I do have the ability to get some referrals for you. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so there's an agency locally called No Bottoms Left Behind.
Mm-hmm.
They can certainly help you with some diaper needs, some food needs for Lois.
That sounds good. Is that something that can be done like right now?
Yeah, Roz, right now. What I can do is just send over a referral to Lois's doctor to make sure that transportation is in place for you, if that sounds okay.
Yeah.
So now that some of these immediate needs are met, how do you feel about considering not prostituting for just this week and see if some of those temporary assistance pieces fill in that gap for you?
I think it's going to be pretty hard. Like, yeah, I'm going to be getting, you know, certain social services and the diapers, but I don't know if that's going to be enough
Okay,
with the lack of money.
sure, I can see where that would be a concern. Are there any other resources that you feel you might have access to?
I mean, I think my mom would help me.
Okay.
I can always ask her if I really need it.
Sure. I think that's a great resource. And she's helped you in the past too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, if I was to give you a scale of 1 to 10, 1 considering, you know what, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to listen and I don't want to do any of this, to 10, I'm ready to go, show me the door, let's get this week on its way. What do you feel you're at right now on that scale?
I don't know. I guess if I think about how badly I want my kids, I would say like a 6.
Okay, great.
I just don't know if something comes up where, you know, these guys are going to be calling or texting me all week. Saying no might be really hard for me to do.
Right. So that's a good point. Why don't we make a plan to address those times where you're going to need to say no for this week?
Okay. That would be helpful because I don't even know what I'd say.
Okay. So you've never had to say no in the past, is that right?
I guess I could just say that I'm sick or not feeling well that week.
Okay. I think that's a great plan. Why don't we just review what our goals are for this week and make sure that we both understand what you'll be doing this week.
Well, I'm going to go to all those places for the diapers and the food, and I'm going to call the Medicab place and Lois's doctor to get that set up, and I won't accept any appointments for the week, and if I need any extra stuff or extra help, I'm going to talk to my mom about it.
Now, if you feel that you get a call and you're having a hard time saying no, I would just ask that you go ahead and give me a call. We'll work through it together so that you can just get over that one obstacle. And if you need to do that more than once this week, that'd be okay.
Okay.
Okay, Roz. Well, I know you've got what it takes to get back on track, And with the added help of the DBT group, you'll learn a lot of skills and strategies in addition to what we did today. So I hope you have a great week, and do give me a call if you need to, okay?
Yeah, okay. I'll see you next week.
Great. Have a nice
Okay, that's why I'm like looking over here confused because it has a line for you and then a line for you on the next page.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. And like, did it something?
Do you have cheerleading, normalizing, radical, genuine acceptance at the top of the next page?
No. I don't have that.
Did it miss a page?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so we'll just pass it back and forth.
Okay.
So
Most of my neighbor. Okay, let me start. Neighbors.
waivers. Yeah.
Pissed.
Okay. Yes, you were. Okay. Okay, so.
I have that paper.
Oh yeah, you don't?
No.
It's on the next page. Okay. Oh yeah, here you go.
Thanks.
You're not alone. You're not. No. Yeah. All right. Pretty good changes, and I think we can start today too. No. Well, I know that might feel like it might. I'm so glad we're editing this.
I know.
I'm so glad. Roz, I do know that you've got it. What you? Oh my gosh! Add a group of. What did I say?
No,
something
I
else
was
even?
perfect.
I'm like, wait, did I just figure that out before I touch it?
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't be sorry. Okay, Roz, I do. Yeah.
Wait.
Already, I'm having problems. You'll be just fine. I know you've got it. Stop. Just read what's on the paper, Sarah. Okay. Whatever. Why can't I just end it? Why can't I?